Welcome to my YouTube channel, Victor the Analyst. So today we are going to be working on this project. So this project is Mariana Moore sales analysis. So Mariana Moore is a company that produces clothes, and they have several outlets. So we want to know how they want to increase their revenue to 200% in respect to the 2022. So in 2023 they just really just made sales for just 3 months. So they want to look on how they can increase sales, and so this data was the data that was given to me, and I'm going to work on it, and this is what we're going to arrive at. So without wasting our time, I'll go to the problem statement. Let's see what is entailed. Let's see what is entailed. So wait for it when it come up. This is the Mariana store. So this is the problem statement. Mariana. So what I'm trying to say is they want to increase their revenue by 200% before the next fiscal year, and these are my objective. I'm going to do the KPI and a secondary KPI here, and this I'm going to get data, do DQD, ETL, EDA, and get findings and insights. Then I'll give out my recommendation. But in this video, I'll not be giving out recommendation. I'll just do the dashboard. Then probably in subsequent video, I will teach us on how to get finding and insights on our dashboard. So let's dive into today's class. So we would go to this. You open a blank file on Excel. This is what we're going to do. Open a blank file on Excel. This is the ribbon section. This is the tab, and on the tab we want to go to get data to get our data. So we click on the get data drop down. We'll go to from file, then we'll choose from workbook, then we'll click on it. So we would let's wait for it to load. Let's wait for it to load. Sorry about that, taking some time. So we are doing the ETL process. We want to extract the data. And my data is saved on my desktop. So I'm going to drop this data in on the description so we can download it and follow up as I go on with the tutorial. So we'll go to Skillshare portfolio. If you want to learn more on data analysis, you can actually go to Skillshare. Skillshare is cool in Lagos and in Port Harcourt. They are actually good in when it comes to data analysis and data science. They are Harvard of data. So we'll go to let me get my data. My data is in class material. Then I choose this is my data, Mariana Moore data set. Then I'll click on import. So this is going to take me to Power Query. I've tried to I've extracted the data. So as we proceed in this video, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe and comment. You can comment and actually tell me what you actually want. Then I'll be very glad to respond to it. So let's wait see when it takes me to Power Query. So now I'll click on the sheet 1. So it is going to preview what we actually want to work on. Then I'll click on transform. So let's wait for it to load, just a minute. So now we are in Power Query. So let me explain what Power Query is doing. Power Query helps us in cleaning our data. This is our ribbon section and this is our sub. So if you see in our data, we have this null value, and in the rest of the column we have null value too as well. So we'll try to remove some unwanted column that is not needed. We'll right click here, we'll say remove other columns. So this is going to remove other columns and we're left with only the columns that are about data. So let's check out something. We realize that we have retailer and we have comma in that is comma that separated the data from each other. So before we actually split this into their individual column, we want to remove these three null values. We can use here and we can come up here to remove it, but let's use here. We'll click on the drop down, then I'll uncheck the null value and I'll click on OK. So we're done with that. So let's share the let's share the data into their individual column. Right click here, we go to split column, then we'll go to by delimiter. So this is going to open a panel. So the system has automatically detects the delimiter that we have actually have in our data. So we know we have comma and it's actually shown us it is comma already. If it was not comma, we can actually change it to any this we want, but it's in comma, we'll leave it like that. So you say split at leftmost delimiter. No, we don't want to. If you say it's split at the leftmost delimiter, it's just going to split from this part and leave the other part. Same with the right, it's going to split from the right and leave this other part for us. But we want it to split as each occurrence of the delimiter. So anywhere you see comma, it just split it for us. Then we'll click on each occurrence of the delimiter, then we'll check that, then we'll click on OK. So now we have it like this. We have the retailer ID, invoice ID, and region. So we need to promote, this is our header, we need to promote it, but it's still in our data, so we need to promote it to our header. So we would it's still in our home, we'll go to the use first arrow as header, we click on the drop down, we click on this, so it's going to promote this to the hub. So the next thing is we want to check in our data. We still have our retailer ID inside our data, which is dirty, which is not supposed to be there. We need to remove that. We click on the drop down arrow, the filter then we'll check that, then we'll click on OK. So now we have, let me explain these three parts. This is one, the data type, the header, and the filter. So we'll drag the retailer down to this point. So we would this is our index ID. So we cannot leave it as retailer ID, because if it's retailer ID, this has to have a unique value. But you see that in this Marian Stitch, the which we have here again is supposed to be 0101 and here also be 0101. So definitely this has to be our primary key and not our retailer ID. We need to change this to index ID. So that means it shows that on every transaction a record was taken. So we change this our retailer, so we have to trim because there are some times whereby the data actually might have some kind of space in front of it, so it's going to pick it like two. So right click here, we go to transform, then we trim the data from we trim it from any unwanted space. This invoice date, it also be the date, it also be the data type also be date, not text. So click on the drop down, then make it to be date. So our region, we leave our region like that, but we'll have to just have to like trim. We'll go to trim this, go to state, transform, we trim, right click, split, no, go to transform, we trim the product, right click, we'll trim, transform, then we'll trim. So now we are left with price per unit and unit sold. If we let's check if we calculate this plus this, I don't know, um, this value actually not correct, because if you multiply this to this, you're going to get the runner value. Let's do this multiply by this, then we'll go to add column. No, it will not work because this data type is in text, so we need to change it to this has to be in number. No, this has to be in currency. So this has to be in a number, that's whole number, because the unit, and why this is a currency. So let's multiply this. I'll click on shift, then click on the next one, then click on the drop down, then I'll click on multiply. So is this going to multiply this and put it here? So you see that there's a little bit difference from this to this. So we have to delete this. Click on this, right click, and say remove. The operating cost, operating profit, right click, we want to remove that. We're not working with that. Operating margin, right click, remove that as well. So we rename this to, we'll double click here, we rename it to revenue. Sometimes sales can, most of it, you can actually make sales as a revenue as well. They are the word I use interchangeably. So our sales method, we'll right click, go to transform, then we'll click on the drop down. So we are done with the cleaning. We're done with the cleaning. But if you're not so sure, you can always check on the filter and check. And there's some things you can still do again. You can go to the view, then click on profile, column quality. So this is going to show you if there is any error, empty space or so. So let's check it out. So that this, then I'll go to home, close and load. So this is going to bring us to, we're done with our ETL. So it has brought us to Excel. We've closed, that is, we've loaded to Excel. So now we want to start creating subsets of our data to be able to answer some specific questions, like total sales by days of the week. And remember, we want to calculate our growth rate. But before we calculate our growth rate, there's something I really want to point out to. Remember that growth rate is equals to current year revenue minus previous year revenue divided by previous year revenue. So that for us to get our current year revenue, there's something we have to do. We then need to do a time intelligence function, and for us to create a time intelligence function where we have our dates in our data, we need to create our own calendar table. And for us to do that, we need to go to power query and power pivots to that. So you will notice that we don't have power pivot in our Excel right now, so we need to go and activate our power pivots. So we click on the file, go to the more, and go to the option. So we go to the add-ins. So let's wait for it to load. It's coming up. So after you're gonna go to the manage down here, click on the drop down and click on come ads in. Then we'll click on go. So I'm going to check Microsoft Power Pivot. Where is it? I'll check on it. I'll click on OK. So this is going to come up here, Power Pivots. So these are the Power Pivot look like. Yeah. So we need to add this our data to our data model. So click this any points in our data sets. Then we'll say add to data model. So we'll click on that. Sorry, let's wait for it to come up. So now we have our power pivot. So we need to do some kind of like we want to create our calendar table from this our data. Then we'll go to design, we'll go to date table, we click on the drop down, then we'll click on new. So this will automatically create our calendar table. Here we go. So we have our calendar table. So we need to shorten these months. When we are doing our charts and our visuals, we don't want it to show January in full. So we click on this, then we adjust this to 3M. I'll click on OK. So this is going to automatically shorten the words. Then we'll click on the Saturday. We want to do the same there. We change this to, we click on this, then we change it to, Control Z. We just need like 3D. Click on this, then we click on enter. So we have it like that. From Saturday, then we have Sat. So we're going to, now we have our data, and now we have our data which have our date, and we created out our calendar table from our dates in our data. So we need to link them, like bring in a connection to join them together. So go to home, then we'll go to diagram view. So this is what we have here. So this is our calendar that was created from our invoice date. So we would right click this. We don't want this hierarchy. We actually don't want this as well. We don't want this. We delete. Then we will have to connect the date to the invoice dates. Then we'll click on the date. Then we'll click and drag to the invoice date. So we're going to have a one-to-many relationship. So why are we actually creating a calendar table? This is one of the reasons, because we want to do a term intelligent function, and number two, because we want to calculate our growth rates. Yes, that's fine. So on our calendar table has to have a unique date that is mapping to our invoice date. Let's say, for example, now we can have transactions that have like a that happen in 5 times in a day, but in our calendar date it's just going to appear once, and this is a one to many relationship. So we are done with that. We're done with design. Then we can actually close this power pivot. We close it. So our question will be like total revenue by days of the week. Remember we've already done our days of the week. Then we'll go to insert. We'll go to pivot table. These are pivot table. Remember, it is not power pivot. This is a pivot table. It helps us create a subset of the data set. Then we'll click on add this data to the data model. Then we'll click on OK. So now let me first rename this. Let me rename this to data. This is very advisable to always rename your work. Click on enter. Then right click here, the tab. Then we'll choose any color we want. So this is a double click on this. It's going to be revenue by day of the week. So now this is our revenue. We drag it to the values. So this is going to sum up our revenue. We want to get the one for our days of the week. Remember that we're not going to use this data, the dates in this data set. We're going to use the days we actually created from our pivot table. Then we'll go to all. We click on this drop down. Then we'll choose day of the week. Then we'll drag it down to the row. So this one will actually give us what is actually going on. So we'll rename this one tab color, choose blue. So we want to you can see that this Friday, Monday, Saturday, and Sunday, Thursday, they are not arranged. Are not arranged in the order they are to be. It ought to be like from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so for us to arrange that, we need to go to our power pivot to do that. So we'll go to our power pivot. We'll go to manage. I'm sorry that it's taking time. So we would go to, this is our day of the week number, and these are days of the week. We want to use this number to sort our days of the week. So we click on days of the week. We click on this drop down. Then we'll click on sort by. So the days of the week are that is sort days of the week. We now say by. So we need to choose the column we want to use to sort the days of the week. We click on the drop down, then we'll click on days of the week number, then we'll click on OK. So after doing this, we would click on the days of the week, then we'll go to click on the sort to A to Z, then we would just close. So let's see what will happen here. You can see that has help us sort it in the order that it had to be, from Sunday to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday. So Sunday and next to Monday, Sunday is the but we can't know that yes wait till when we bring out our visuals. So let's delete this sheet. Right click, we're going to click on delete. We delete that sheet. So let's check the next secondary KPI you're bringing in. I want us to bring revenue by retailer. So we would go back to our data. Yeah, that is it. We'll go to our insert. Sorry, let's click on any point on our data set. Click on any point in your data set. Click on the drop down and say from table stroke range. We'll click that. Then we're going to check the add this data to the data model. Then we'll click on OK. So now we said we want to get revenue by retailer. We'll drag our retailer to the rows. Then we'll drag our revenue to the values. So this has helped us get the revenue that has been generated by each retailers. So let's sort this by from the highest to the lowest. Go to sort, then take it from the largest to the smallest. So back to Shape Essentials as the highest revenue, followed by Jabari Needles. So we rename this to revenue by retailers. Click on enter. We right click, go to tab color. We just choose any color we want. I encourage us to always rename our sheets, because when you're doing your dashboard, you don't start going into each and every sheet and be looking for which visual do you want to bring in. So when you label your sheet, it gives you this flexibility of just looking at the name of the sheet and you know, oh yeah, this is where I'm going to. Then you bring out your visuals. So in the next, let's check. We want to answer 2 questions now. Let's go to revenue by sales channel. So go to revenue by sales channel. We go to my data. I want to create another pivot table. Click on the drop down, revenue by sales channel. Then I'll add this data to the data model. Revenue by sales channel means like revenue generated by the sales method. So I'll bring my sales method to the row. I'll bring my revenue to the volume. So we'll have this. So let's sort from the largest to the smallest. So we have that. I'll rename this revenue by sales channel. Okay, right click, tab color. I'm going to choose any color I want, and we want to use let's going back to we want to use this is revenue by sales channel. We want to use a percentage and not figures to represent our value, because we are using a pie chart. So going back here, let's convert this to percentage. But in Excel there is this function where they use this show value as row column total. But I'm gonna tell you that this can actually not give you a right figure, because at the long run, when you start slicing by this a sales method, this figure will actually not be correct again. Let's try it. Let me bring in a slicer. Click on slicer. So I bring in sales method, then I click on OK. So if I click on install, you look as you see what it's giving me. It's actually giving me 100%. So for us to be able to solve this problem, we need to write a tax formula that will help us calculate the total of this total revenue without applying filter to that total revenue. Then we use it to divide the individual revenue generated by each sales method. And for us to do that, we need to convert this one back to the number. Let's click this. I will say we want to show value as let's convert it back to no calculations. So for us to do that, we need to create a measures. So go to sheet 1, just this corner here that look like boss, you right click, you say add measures. So we're going to name our measure remove filter from sales method. So I'll come to this place, I'll say calculate tab, I'll come and say sum of revenue tab, comma, all tab. I'll click here again. What does all means? All means that don't apply filter to this column I want to pass to you. So the column we're going to pass to our system is going to sheet 1 sales method. Then I'll close this. I'll close this twice. That is going to be 2 brackets because all is a function. I've opened the bracket and I have to close it back. Calculate is a function. I've opened the bracket. I have to close it back. So what's this index formula saying? It's saying calculate. That's sum this sum our total revenue. When you sum it, don't apply filter to sales method. So in the case that when we get our total revenue and when we start applying our filter, that is slicer to it, it will not work on that total. So we can use that total and divide this individual revenue. So let's change this to number. We change this to whole number. We can leave it as decimal. Just leave it as decimal. So we get the actual, click on OK. So the next one, we want to create another function that will help us get our percentage. We're going to call this percentage of sales method. Then we would say sum of revenue tab divided by remove. So what is going to do, this is going to get this value here and it's going to get the total of this plus this plus this, that is the grand total, and to divide it, you should get the, I will now convert it to percentage. So we'll change this to number, we drop down percentage. So this one will give us the percentage of this person here. Then we'll click on OK. So come down here, we drag it down to this point. So we look at it. So now let's start slicing through. We see that we are actually getting the actual value. Now let's take, for example, now let's put this back to show value as row percentage column total. So when I click on install, you can see what's going on. So that is how you can actually deal with that problem. So let's remove this and let's leave it like this. So let's right click and sort. I want to sort from the largest to the smallest. So next one. So the next, let's check. We want to get revenue by year, by month. Revenue by year. Going back to our data, we have to insert a new pivot table. Pivot table drop down from table stroke range. Then we'll check add this data to the data model. Then we'll click on OK. So we're going to rename this revenue by year, by month. Then click on enter. We'll right click, tap color, we make it this color. So now we want to revenue by year, by month. We drag our revenue down to the values. So we are not, like I said before, we are not using anything that is related to dates in this our sheet. We have to go and use the calendar that we created. So we click on all, then we click on the drop down. We bring in the year and the month. We drag the month to this place. So no, sorry, this is where it ought to be. We bring it the months to the rows, then we take the year to this point. So we have it like this. So we can still see year 2 as well. The months are not arranged the way it ought to be arranged, like January, February, March, and so we go back to our power pivot. We click on the manage. So in our power pivot, we have it like this January, we need to sort it. Click on this. We click on the sort by column, sort by. We choose month number. Then we'll click on OK. So we are going to click on this to sort it for us. Then we would cancel. So we see that we have gotten January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So this has helped us arrange it according to the normal arrangement of the year. So we see that in 2023, they only made sales in 3 months, which is January, February, and March. So we would come here, back to our data. We go into insert. We click on the pivot table drop down from table stroke range. Then we check this and click on OK. So our next pivot table will be let's work on the revenue by year. Revenue by year. So rename this to revenue by year. Click on enter. So let's bring in our revenue. Then we'll go to year. We drag the year to the rows. So we've gotten the revenue by year. So let's leave this at this. We'll come back to this. So when we start doing our visuals, then we can start doing the other things I really want to talk about. So we are left with this, the revenue by product and by region. So I'll go back to this, then I'll have to go to my data, click on the insert, the pivot table drop down from table stroke range, then check this and click on OK. Revenue by, drag the revenue to the values, revenue by region and by state. No, I'm not talking about state. Revenue by product. It's gonna be product. Yeah. So let's rename this revenue by product. By region. Then I'll click on enter. Okay. Let's look at the tab color. We use this. So let's check what else do we need to do. So now we are done in our secondary KPI. So now we want to work on our KPI itself, which is the first one: total revenue, average order value, total units sold, total transaction, and growth rate. So we would insert a new pivot table, go to the drop down from table stroke range, then we check this. I'll click on OK. So we'll bring in our total revenue to the values. The next one is average order value, which is total revenue divided by the number of order. That's the drop down, bring it here, which is then we would click on the drop down, value field settings, click on the average, then click on OK. I'm not supposed to be having to here, then drag this out. So this is my average. What other thing again? Let me check, sorry, a minute. Total units sold. Then I'll bring my units sold out, drag it down here. So the next is going to be total transaction. My total transaction is the count of my ID. I'll bring it down to this point. So the next one is growth rate. So for us to calculate our growth rate, we need to go calculate our true measures, because that was one of the main reasons we did this that was one of the main reasons we did our calendar table. So now we are going to go to new measures and write our DAX formulas to calculate it. So a DAX formula for that is what's it called, current year. The formula for growth rate is current year minus previous year divided by previous year. So we need to calculate our current year first. So now let's add measure. We need to calculate our current year. We name this to CY. CY means current year revenue. So our current year revenue would go to total YTD, would say sum of revenue tab, comma. So it's asking for the date. We're going to say calendar, date, tab, then we would close the bracket. So what is going to do for us is going to help us calculate the total year to date for total year to date, that is the revenue for the year, that is the current year, using this our calendar date. So let's check our DAX. It is fine. Then we'll click on OK. So now we want to calculate our previous year when we've gotten our current year. So then we'll go to this place and right click, add measures. So with this we would go to this place and say calculate, tab. That's going to be like sum of revenue, comma, same period last year. Same period last year is a time intelligence function, just the way total YTD2 is a time intelligence function. So we would is asking us for the year. We say calendar, extract down to date, calendar date, tab. We'll close the bracket twice, yeah. Then we would change this to number, or number. Oh, it was PY revenue. That's current year, previous year revenue, sorry. Then we'll click on OK. So now we want to calculate the year-to-year growth now, which is the current year minus the previous year divided by the previous year. So we'll create a new measure again. I would say we'll put bracket here, current year, tab, minus PY year, tab. We'll close the bracket. We say divided by CY PY tab. Then we'll go to number. We click on this drop down. We go to percentage. We rename the measure name will be year to year growth. Then we'll click on OK. So now let's drag our year-to-year growth into our values. So there we go, 79% growth. So we rename this to, oh sorry, I did mistake by creating this. Let me delete it. So back to this, double click this and do KPI, enter, right click, tap color, then we choose this color. So we need to get, let's go back to our revenue by year. We want to get the percentage representation of this value here. For us to do that, we're actually going to bring in another revenue. We drag it here. So we would not do it the same way we did it that time. I think we will do it the same way we did it that time by calculating this our percentage. So definitely we don't need this. Let's remove this and just go to create a measure, right click, add measure, then we'll say remove filter from year. So have like calculate, tab, sum of revenue, tab, comma, is gonna be all, tab, calendar, no, not calendar, that's going to be like calendar year, tab, then we'll close the bracket one twice. Let's check our dark formula is correct. We'll go to numbers, then we'll click on OK. So now this is our remove data from here. We would want to do the percentage now. Let's create a measure for the percentage. Add measure. Let's say sum of revenue, tab, divided by remove data from here, tab, then I'll go to number, then I'll change this to percentage. Mind you, when you're writing your DAX formula, always follow the IntelliSense, because that's one tool says you are doing the right thing. Let's change this to percentage of year revenue. Then we'll click on OK. So we've done that. Let's go and bring in the percentage of year revenue. Bring it here. So that's it. So I think our work is taking shape. So what we need to do now is start bringing in our visuals out. So let's start bringing in our visuals. And then retailer revenue by retailers. Let me check. Revenue by retailers. We actually use a line chart. So would go to this, click on your pivot table, then go to pivot table analyze. And most of the time when you click on your pivot table, any point is a pivot table. If this person is not showing, click on the pivot table analyze, and you see it's not showing, then click here. The field list, it will bring it out, because sometimes this field list is always turned off. This field list is probably might be turned off, so you would have to like call it out again. So click on the pivot table analyze, click on the pivot chart. So we are using a line chart. No, not a line chart. No, we are using the bar chart, column chart. Is a column chart. It's column chart. So this is where we're using our line chart. Click on the pivot table analyze, click on the pivot chart, then we'll click on the line and click on OK. So revenue, let's click on this pivot table chart analyze, pivot chart, pie chart, click on OK. So let's bring in our data label. Good. We can actually just drag this out a little bit. Click on this, we drag out a little bit. Click on this, we drag this out a little bit. So we go to this, we are pivot table analyze, pivot chart. We're not going to use this chart, we're going to use a line chart. So as well, we use this. This is better. Click on OK. So the next one, revenue by year. We're going to use a donut chart. You want to do a custom donut chart. You want to do what we have here. It's like a custom donut chart. So we would say equals to, let's call out the value. But sometimes people do call out value like doing b for equals to. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. So I would, let's click on this and just delete it. So equals to, you say if error down space, you click on tab. So we click on this, comma 0, and close the brackets. So what is this one saying? It's saying that if this value comes out as error, maybe it's not showing a value, give me 0. Then we'll click on OK, equals to if error, because reason why I'm doing this is that as we want to bring in our slicer for 2022 2023, and there are times whereby we would slice 2022 and this value will not be showing again, 2023 will not be showing. It will give us an error, but for us to undo that error, that's why we need it, and it's very compulsory, so that it will even help our chart form the way it ought to be. Then we'll click here, comma 0, then close the bracket, then hit on enter. Then say equals to max tab. Then I'll select this two. I'll click close the bracket. Now close the bracket. I'll say shift and 8 1.25. I'll click on enter. So this one stands as our target, as if just don't make it as an imaginary target. You say equals to this F4. So we have locked it from this from the row ASICs. If you don't have, if your F4 is not working, you can just click in between the G and 3, in between your G and 3, and just insert a $sign there. Then we'll click this, then we'll click on enter, then we'll come here, then we would autofill, drag down. So we select this two, we go to insert, we go to the pivot, we check on this. So we have this as 2022. Then we click on this, we select this, we go to insert, we click on the drop down, click on the chart, we rename this to 2023. Then we'll click here. So now we've gotten our donut chart for 2023 and 2022. So let me explain this. This is our real data. It's just like a speedometer, as if it's actually going to this point like a clock. You can see that 2023 look more fuller compared to 2022. So let's go to this. We want to bring in our charts. Go to pivot table, analyze pivot charts. So we use this. I'll click on OK. Yeah, so this chart, this is, let me explain this chart. This is just for her. It means that in West, just her is this most selling product. In the South, because when you look at the colors here, you see that just for men it sells most in South, and in the North you have summer wear selling the most, and the just for men selling after the just for men summer wears. Still likewise the same thing with other regions. So let's go to our KPI. In our KPI, we'll start calling out our KPI. We'll do equals to if error tab. We click on this, comma 0 shift close bracket. We click on enter. Here equals to if error tab. We click on this, comma 0 close the bracket, enter, equals to if error, come down, tab, click on this, comma 0 close the bracket, enter, equals to if error tab. You can see that I'm not typing my formula completely. I'm just pressing the figures and it comes out automatically. Then I'll just click on tab to bring it in. So now click on enter. Same with this, equals to if error. I'll click on tab and I'll click on this, comma 0, then I'll close the bracket and I'll click on enter. So now let's format this. This is in currency. I'll right click, I'll say format cell, I'll go to currency, I'll make it to 0 decimal, then I'll click on OK. So I want to format this too as well. Right click, format cell, currency 0, I'll click on OK. This is in units, not currency, so I'll just format it to O number, no decimal please. Check this, click on OK. So let me format this. This should be in percentage. I'll go to format cell, percentage 0 decimal please, and I'll click on OK. So we are good to go on. So the next thing is for us to get to start creating our dashboard. So for us to create our dashboard, we need to create in a new sheet. We can click here and we can also right click here and click on insert. Both of them work the same way. Then we right double click on the dashboard, click on enter, right click, change the tab color to any color we want. So we would need to do some things. We want to push up all the ribbons and the tab. We want to push them up with the formula bar. We don't want to be seeing them. I'll go to my drop down here, I'll go to full screen mode, then I would come up here, I'll say go to views, I don't want to be seeing my formula bar. So my grid lines are my headings, but I will leave them for now. I'll cut this out. So in my system, I have make sure you have come to A1. So from A1, then I'll check from A down. This my last figure is U. So the next one is V. So I'll start cutting. I'll click from V, then I'll press Shift, Control, Shift with the forward button. That is the right hand button on my keyboard. So that will select everything on the right hand side. I'll right click and I'll click on hide. So I would go to this other place. So from the row as is, I have it that my system actually ends in 33. So I'll leave one more gap because of this, because as to proceed, we will move this our headers. So we'll leave 33, 34, so we'll start from 35. So what am I trying to say? If your system ends in 33, just leave just one row and move to the next row, then you cut from there. So I'll press Shift and Control, then I'll press down arrow on my keyboard, down, then I'll right click and I'll say hide. So then let's go back up here now. So we got this. So I'll come up here, we say no headers, no grid lines. So this is the point, this is the place we are going to work on. So right click, but for us to start working, continue working, we want to insert our own colors. We want to get our own colors, because these colors that we see here, they were predefined by me. I did not use the color from Excel. I went to go and pick up my colors from. So welcome back everyone. The sites that we are going to pick our colors from is from Canvas. So this is the site, and I'll drop the link on the description whereby we can actually pick the colors I picked. In subsequent dashboards, you can always come here to check for colors combination. So now these are the colors we want to pick. We'll pick in the graphite, the pile, and the fields. Then we'll go down to the sandstone, the burnt orange, the sea. That's a number of like 6 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we'll leave this alone. So we'll go back to, let's go back to this. We go to the page layout, then we'll click on the colors drop down, then we'll go to customize color. So this accent is the first accent is, now we'll take for example now when this accent 1, okay, it's not going to work. Accent 1, let me explain this. Accent 1 means this bar, this is accent 2, this is accent 3, this is accent 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to arrange, we're going to pick the color according to that. So the drop down, then we'll go to the customize color. So our accent 1 will be, let me check. Actually use this as my accent 1. Fine. This will be my accent 1. So I'll come back here, drop down, and go to more colors. Then I'll change this to 3, 4, 6, 7, 5, 6. Then I'll click on OK. Now for my accent 2, it's going to be fields. Let me confirm that. The fields, this color. So back to, we click here, we go to more colors, a custom, then we go to B3 C100, then we'll click on OK. Then accent 3, that's the burnt orange. We go to the more colors, accent 3 will be, let's check accent 3. Let me check accent 3. That's an burnt orange. Let me confirm that if that's what we have in accent 3. Yeah, burnt orange. So back to there. So backspace, burnt orange. Because D E. You notice that it's not case sensitive. A22. Then I'll click on OK. Then accent 4. Accent 4 is C. Let me confirm that. Yeah, accent 4 is C. I'll click on the drop down. I'll click on more colors. I'll click on this. Accent 4 C 20 9 4 8 B. Then I'll click on OK. Accent 5, that's sandstone, more colors, sandstone. Then I'll F4 CC70. Then I'll click on OK. The accent 6, oh, that will be granite, more colors. My color code will be B7 B8 B6. Then we'll click on OK. So then we rename this to Mariana color code. Then we'll click on save. So now if we go back to our charts, we notice that our charts will change color. Look at it. It does change color. So now let's start building our dashboard. So do control. Let me see what we have in our background here. Okay. We do control A. Select or right click. Then our paint will be, we choose this color. Let's see. I think this looks better. I'll choose something like this. This looks better. Okay. So let me see. We actually use, in case you want to check, we actually use this color. It's a blue gray. Blue gray, that's what we used. And let's start bringing in our templates. We go to insert, we go to shape, click on the drop down, and we click on the rounded corners shape. Then we'll click on that. Then we'll click and drag. We drag to the end. This is going to be our banner. But you notice that this what's it called? Our shape takes the color of the first accent, which is going to be the first color on our column, like in our chart. But look at it. This is what I'm talking about. You know, this color, this is the first. This is accent 1. So we have our background, our template as this. So we need to change the color of our template because it's coming out as our accent 1. So we'll change this later. So, but let's make sure we put in all our template in the right place that it ought to be. Then we'll click on this, then do Ctrl D. We'll drag down, we resize this, then resize down, then bring it up here down to this point, then we'll drag down, then make this one up a little, close that a little bit. That's good. We click here, this is to adjust the corner, the edge of the look at this. We want to adjust the edge of the rounded corner to make it more sharper. So we shape the yellow a little bit. This is more better. Then we'll click here, do Ctrl D. We resize it. So this is going to be our KPIs. This is where our KPIs will be. So this, we have like 5 KPI. 5 KPI to add there. So we drag this down a bit. Then we'll do Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So select this, select this, select this, select this. Then reduce it a bit. No, that's good. We click out here. So select this. We close down on Shift. Click this. Click this. Click this. Click this. While your hand is on Shift, then you select everything. You come up here. You go to the Align. Click on the drop down. You say Align top. You say Distribute horizontally. So we have it like this. So now we need to adjust it a little bit to the side. We bring it here a little bit to the side. That's good. I think we have the right shape now. So now we click out here. But there's something I noticed. I feel like we still need to do something. Okay. Let me Ctrl Z. We'll adjust this in a bit. Yeah, it is too sharp. Let's make it a little bit. Let's make the edge a little bit rounded. Let's make the edge a little bit rounded. Click this and click this. Yeah, a little bit rounded, then does it. So we would click this, we do Ctrl D to duplicate. Now once we get the templates for where our charts will be, we drag this down, drag this to this point. So we close this a little bit, make it like this. Okay, I think it's better this way. Then we'll do Ctrl D, duplicate. Alright, select this, select this, select this. Let's make it a little bit, let's bring it down a little bit. Okay, good. And drag it down. So I'm trying to arrange this stuff. Sorry, just trying to arrange it so that it will take the proper shape. Click on this, then drag this up a little bit. Okay, click out here, then drag this down. This is good. Alright, then Shift, then bring this one a little bit. That's good. So now let's start duplicating. Do Ctrl D, Ctrl D. Yeah, I'll do Ctrl D. Drag this down and do Ctrl D. Yeah, so we have it like that. So let's arrange this. We do put under shift, click on this, click this, and click this, or click this. So you go up here, click on shape format, go to the align drop down, align top, then align distribute horizontally. Same here, come here, click on the shift, click here, up here, align drop down, align top, distribute horizontally. So you have that. So now we will start bringing in our, but before bringing our charts and every other thing we want to bring in, I talk about the color. The color is the same thing with our Accents one, which is the same thing with our first position of bar. So we need to change this to black. So we put your hand on shift, then you click on every template. Click on every template here. Click this, click this, click this, click this. Then you right click. The field drop down. You choose black. The outline, you choose no outline. Then I'll right click again. We'll go to format objects. We'll click on this, the effect. Then we'll go to shadow. Click on the shadow drop down. The presets, we're going to choose offset right. We click on that. We click on the color, then we choose a gray color, something that looks like white and black. We choose that. So the opacity, we reduce the opacity a little bit to make it more, to make it show very well. Then we are good with that. Then we close this. So there we go. Just click out here. You can just click and you put under shift and on. Start clicking on everything to remove the highlighted template. Put under shift and on, check them. So now we are now ready to bring in our chart. So the first chart we'll bring in is revenue by days of the week. This one we click here, we do Ctrl C, then we'll go to back to our dashboard. Click on our dashboard. We click on this template, we do Ctrl V. Click on total, click on delete. Then we'll leave this here like that because we want it to be showing us like where we can trace our values to. We right click this, we say hide all feed buttons on chart. We do that. We'll delete, we don't want our chart title, we use our text box to do that. We click on delete, we resize this, we resize it. Oh no, it's too much. Let me do Ctrl Z. Yeah, so whenever you're moving your chart, you see this inside, that is the inner chart area. Don't click on it and drag. Make sure you click outside the inner chart area. Click outside the inner chart area, then you can drag. Then you can resize this downward, resize this to this point. So that's good. So we would, the same thing goes for when you want to remove your background and your outline. So don't click inside the inner chat area, click just outside the inner chat area. Right click here, we go to click on the fill drop down, click on no fill, the outline, we say no outline. So let's click on this, the y-axis, we right click on the font, we want to change the font color, the drop down, we're going to use this gray that look like, click this, okay, click here, right click, we're going to go to the font, we click on the drop down, then we use this color that we brought in, then we'll click on OK. So the next thing we need to do is then bring in our chat box, our text box. Insert, go to shapes, then click your text box, click on it, it will come out like a plus, a cross, then click and drag. So we can now edit inside here. Alright, revenue, by day of the week. So now we need to format this. We will select the font, come up here to the home, we click on the drop down, the font color, we'll choose this color, we'll change the font size to 12, we'll make it bold, does that. Then we need to change, we remove the background. So when you want to remove the background, you would just click on this edge, right click there, you go to the fill, drop down, you see no fill, the outline, you see no outline. So I noticed something, this is not bold. Let's select this again, let's come up here, it is not bold, we click on the bold, so now it is bold. So let's arrange this and make it be in a proper shape, in a proper position, I mean. So drag to this point. So that's it, we are done with our first chart. So for us to bring in, let's bring in our next chart. We go to, let me see, let's bring in our revenue by retailer, revenue by retailer, then click this, we do Ctrl C, go to dashboard, click here, we do Ctrl V, so click here, delete, we click here, we delete. So we want our values to be showing as data label on our column charts. So we would go to data label, check that, or I click here, hide off bid button on charts, the total, we click it, we delete it, we resize this, no, we come up here, we bring it up, we will resize it, drag it down, we drag it down. So now let's format our number, and I will bring in our title here. So there's something I want to, if you want to drag your text box, when you have your console like this, showing like this, the system thinks that you want to start typing. So you have to make sure your console, your your mouse, that is your mouse console, change to these four cardinal points. Then you click. When you click, you can click and still holding the mouse. Don't remove your hand on it. Then you can drag. You click and hold your hand on the mouse, then drag. But if you have your mouse, your console just like this, when you click and drag, it will not work. But when you bring in your mouse just over around the edge of the what's it called, when you bring your mouse over around the text box, you can see that it has changed to four cardinal points. That's when you click and then you drag. So in our own case, we want to duplicate this and drag. We'll do Ctrl D. It has helped us duplicate this. We click on this and drag down. So this is going to be revenue by retailer. There we. So we would go to the revenue by the retailer. Let's format this. We right click this and let's select everything option. Right click, then we'll do to number format, say currency 0 decimal place, then we'll click on OK. Let's go back to our dashboard. Let's see what we have there. So we need to format this as well. We'll come back to that. Right click, we say fill, no fill, outline, no outline, the grid line, we delete this. We click here, we right click, we click on font. On the font color, we click on the drop down, we choose the gray, then we'll click on OK. The y-axis, the x-axis, we click there. When you click on it, then you right click, then you go to the font, you click on the font drop down, then you click on the gray, and you click on OK. You still right click again. We want to remove the outline. We don't want the outline. We click on no outline. So there we go. So let's format this. We want to format this. We will go to our revenue by day of the week to format that. Let's select this, right click, number format, currency to 0, then we'll click on OK. So back to our dashboard, let's see. So there we go, already formatted. So now let's check for the next one we need to do. So we need to bring in our sales by revenue by sales method, by sales channel. Then we'll go to this point, revenue by sales channel, we Ctrl C, we'll go to the dashboard, click on it, click here, Control. No, before doing that, let's make this one a little bit small. Let's come here and drag out a bit. So use this point, do Control V, cancel this. We don't want this to show. We adjust this a bit. So we right click here, we say hide of it on chart. Click here, we click on delete on our keyboard. We would adjust this to this middle, adjust this. So we drag down we right click the fill, click on the fill drop down, no fill, outline, no outline. The fonts, click on the fonts, right click, click on the fonts, drop down, we choose degree, click on OK. Same goes to this, right click, outline, no outline, click on this, outline, no outline, you click on this small box again, outline, no outline, no, that's what I'm clicking out, right click, outline, no outline. Good. So now we would click on this, we want to change this to gray, we go to the font color, we choose this, and we'll click on OK. So now let's bring in our text box, Ctrl D, we hover our mouse, make it the 4 cardinal points, click and hold it down, then drag and drag to this point. So now we have it like revenue by sales channel. We adjust this a bit. So now we are done with this. So we need to bring in this other one, revenue by products by. We Ctrl C, go to this point, we do Ctrl V. So let's clean this chart, hide of it. We click here, let's click on this, click on the plus sign on the chart level, no, that's data level. On the legend, we'll go to click here, we say top, so that will bring this one up here, then we'll adjust it a little bit, we drag it down to this point, okay, bring it down a little bit, then we would extend this to this point. Yeah, we extend it to this point, so we have it like this, then we extend it downward. So let's remove this our background, right click, we go to the fill, no fill, oh sorry, click here, right click, fill, no fill, outline, no outline, we click on the grid line, we click on delete, we click on the X, Y axis, we right click, we click on the fonts color drop down, then we'll click on the gray and click on OK. We click on this, right click, we go to the font, drop down, then we choose the gray, then we click on OK. We click on the x-axis, we right click, we go to the fonts, we click on the drop down, we click on gray, click on OK. So we right click again, we click on it again, let's click on it, right click, we go to the outline, we say no outline. So we need to format this to be in dollar. So we go to this place, we would just click on any point in your data set and right click, and you go to number format, then click on currency and click on the drop down and click on OK. So this one will format everything in your pivot table. So we'll go to our dashboard. So we have it. So let's bring in our title. Control D, then we'll drag to this place. Then let's adjust this. Say revenue by products by region. So now on to the next one. Let's go to, which one do you want to check again? Revenue by year and by month. So let's go to our, let's bring this in. Control C, Control V. So we adjust this. So we need to right click on this, right click, hide or feed button on chart. Do that. So let's format this figure, but before we do that, let's bring this to the top. Click on the plus here, go to the legend, click on the arrow, click on top, so that will bring it to the top. Then we have to adjust this and then readjust this again. So we would actually do something, then bring this up a bit. Let's bring this one down, this one come down. So now we need to right click and then the fill, no fill, the outline, no outline, the grid, right click. No, we can actually, before if you can actually come here too and just uncheck the grid too. So it's going to go. So now let's just click on the plus, so it's go. Click on this y-axis, right click. We want to change the font color. Then we'll go to the font color, then we'll choose the gray, click on OK. So let's change the format of this number. Let's go to revenue by year. So we'll click on any point here, right click, we'll go to number format, we choose currency, then we'll change it to 0 and click on OK. So back to our dashboard. So now here we have it. So let's click on this, right click, fonts, we change this to the this color, gray and gray. Same here, let's adjust this a bit, we don't want any slant. And click on this, right click, go to the font color drop down, then we choose this, I'll click on OK. So now we are left with, okay, let's bring in our title, click on this edge, I'll do Ctrl D. Mind you, if Ctrl Z, mind you, if this thing is blinking, you cannot, if you do Ctrl D, it will not work. You need to come out and click out here to make it stop blinking. Just select the text box and do Ctrl D. That is when it will work. Then you come here and put it here. Revenue by year by month. So good. So the next one is revenue by year. This is what we want to bring in. So we'll do shift select and select this. Let's reduce the size. Okay, so bring this individual. Let's click on this. I don't want this. Click out here. Let's click this. I'll do Control C. No, let me bring this first. I'll do Control C. Then back to my dashboard. I'll do Control V. I'll rearrange it. Click on this. I'll click on delete. Then I'll bring this up. I'll adjust this a bit. And I'll drag this down. Good. So I'll bring the next one. Control C to my dashboard. Click on the template. Control V. I'll drag this to this point. I'll drag it here. Click on this. Delete. I'll drag down. Click on this. I'll click on this. I'll extend this up to this point. Drag down. You can see the way I'm arranging my charts. I didn't click inside here. If I click inside I drag, I will distort the chart. So I was just conscious of like everything I want to do just have to do with the outer charts. So now I have 2002, 2003. So I can just adjust this, make it be in the same size. So now we are almost there. We then drag this down a bit. This will be in the same size with the other one. Okay, good. Now let me start removing backgrounds and other stuff I want to do. Right click. I would make this to be no outline, no fill, no. Then click on this and right click, fill, no fill, outline, no outline. I'll click on this. I'll right click. I'll say outline, no outline. I'll click on this once as well. I'll right click, outline. You can see no outline is not showing because I'm very close to this and down on my screen. So I have to drag it down and say no outline. So there we go. So let's format our fonts. I'll click this. I'll select. Though sometimes this thing doesn't come up, but it comes up. You can use it and just edit your stuff. But let me use it here too. I'll choose this color. I'll make it bold. Same here as well. I'll select. I'll do Ctrl Z. I'll select this. I would bold. I'll change the color to this color. Good. So now I need to bring in my text box. Ctrl C. No, Ctrl D. Ctrl D. Then I would click and drag. So it's going to be revenue by year. By year. So I would adjust this. Revenue by year. So now let me start bringing in I want to put in a percentage like just the way we have here. just the way we have here. We know we have percentage inside that donut chart, so we're going to do that now. But before we do that, I actually want us to do something. I want us to make this chart, this donut charts big. So go to format data series, then we'll make this the donut size to be 50. Let's make it 50. Oh, 50 is too small. Let's make it to be 60. I think 60 is better. Then click on this, and go to this place. Then click on make it 60. Okay, no, 60 is better. Then cancel this. And good. Okay, now we want to start calling in our KPI. So on the process of calling in our KPI, that's when we'll put in our percentage inside here. So for us to get our KPI, let's bring in this our text box here. We do Ctrl D. We drag this up here. We'll do another Ctrl D. Oh no. We do Ctrl D again. We bring this down here. So click on this. Let's format this. This one is going to be all in capital letter. Total revenue. So adjust to the middle. So this is where our figure will be. Let's adjust this upward a bit. We'll select this. We'll give it a backspace. So we'll call out our formula bar. We'll go to views, check your formula bar, come back here, click here like this, just select the text area, then come here. So before we do this, let's go back to our KPI and check if we have called as our KPI. Yes, we've done that, so we can now proceed back to our dashboard. We click on this, say equals to, then we'll go to our dashboard, our KPI. We'll click on total revenue and enter. So this has shown here already, but it's not showing because the background is black. We'll double click on it. Mind you, you cannot select. We can just do Ctrl A when you know that this is blinking. Then you come up here, then click on home, change the font color to the gray, change the background and the font size to 16 and change it to bold. Let's see what we have. Okay, I think we should increase it more to 18. 18 is better. 18 is better. Yeah, we adjust this a little bit and adjust this a little bit. Good. So let's click on this, select this, do Ctrl D, then we drag this to this point. So our next KPI will be, let me see, average order value. Select this, we say average order value. So we extend this a little bit front, extend this a bit, then we'll come here, then we'll do Ctrl D. We change this to this point. We'll come back here. We go to the KPI. Click on this. Click on Enter. So now it is there, but we can't see it. So let me tell us about Painter. So we click here. We want to format this. We want this figure that is here to be like this. So instead of we repeating the same process we did by formatting also, we can just click here, then go to our Painter and click on our Painter. Just click here once. This will go back and click on this. You see, it helps us in actually helping us in this process of like automating our process that we've done before. So and this, there we go. So now let's bring in another chart. We click on this, we do Ctrl D, then we would drag it to this point. So the next one is total units sold. Select this, we say total units sold. Would adjust this, bring this to this point, click on this, we do Ctrl D, bring this here, over there, click this, total units sold, then go back to our KPI, click this, enter, the same thing we do, click on this, come up here, click on our paint, click here, then click again. So we want to do the next one, click here, Ctrl D, we'll drag it to this place, we'll select this, delete, then we'll say, so what's the next one? Total transaction and growth rate. Total transaction, we adjust this, adjust this to the medium. So we select this, we do Ctrl D, select this to this point, we'll come here, delete this, then we'll go to our total transaction, go to our KPI, we click this and click on enter. So click here, up here, click on this, click here once, click again. So next one, the growth rate, do Ctrl D, we'll drag this to here, click this, do Ctrl D, we'll drag this to this point, we see growth rate, we click this, let's adjust this, we click on this, we bring it to the medium. So we would come here, backspace, and we go to the KPI, click this, enter, we click this, come up here, click on the painter, click this, we click on this. So that's it. So let's align all these our fonts. We click this, click out here, click here. Mine is on shift as I click on all these fonts. So I'll come up here, I'll go to fit and shape format. I'll click on the align drop down, I'll click on align top. So click down here, click this, click this, click this, I'll click this as well. I'll come up here, I'll click on the align, I'll say align top. So there we go. And I would, yeah, there we go. I'll make sure they are in the center. Good. So we're good with that. So we need to bring in our percentage inside here. So I'll click this. I will just reduce this a bit, and I'll say Control D. I'll drag it into this point. I'll say Control D. I'll come here, I'll drag it here. So we want to get the percentage for 2022 and 2023. So let's come here and see. Okay, now we've not called out the value. So let's bring this to this point, just so we can call out our value. We come here, we say 2022, then 2023, then we say equals to if error tab. I'll click on this value, I'll comma 0, then I'll close my bracket and say enter. I say equals to if error tab, then I'll click this bracket comma 0, then I'll close my bracket and I'll click enter. So I'll select these two, I'll right click, I'll say format cell, then I'll go to percentage to 0, click on OK. So there you go. Then we'll go back to our dashboard. So we click here, we want to get the percentage for 2022, the backspace, then go to our KPI. Oh no, sorry, revenue by year 2022, click this and enter. We click this for 2023, backspace, then we'll come to the click on this, I'll say enter. So we have the two value here, but we need to format it. So click here, we come up here, we double click on this, double click, we click on here once, click here, come up here, then close this. So now we are good to go. So now the next thing is let's go and hide our formula back again. We uncheck this. So we have this now. So let's drag this up. So now we want to work on our slicer with the banner. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to up here, go to insert, click on slicer, click on data model and click on OK. So we want to bring in our year, we want to bring in our retailer, we want to bring in our sales method. Let me check sales method and what again, and region, then I'll click on OK. So we have them here. So our year is going to be here. Let's drag it. Let's resize it like that. So the next is our sales method. Sales method. We will resize it. We'll go to the region, click this 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Then the region, the region, then we'll adjust this as well. Click on the retailer, we adjust this. Now let's make this small. Let's make this small again. Okay, no, I think we need to bring this up a bit. Let's click here, bring this up a bit. Click here, drag this up a bit. Okay, good. So now we can now start designing our slicer. So before we let's design our slicer. So click here, click on your slicer, then you click on the slicer, then click on this drop down here. You click on new slicer style. This whole slicer is all the slicer. How do you want your slicer background to look like? This is what you're gonna format. We click on format. We say we just want to change the fill. We change our fill to black because this is what we actually want to do. We change our fill to black, then we would click on OK. With the header, this is our header. So what we want to format there, just want to format the font. You want it to be bold. The color, we want it to be gray. We're not changing the fill. We leave it like that. Let's take the color of the background. So the selected item with data, it means this color is telling us about this color. Is this color that we want to pick? This is the color it's talking about. Selected item with data. So let's come here. We actually chose so go to selected color with data or format. We'll go to the fill. We'll change and let's change our font. We change our font. We leave our font as black. So let's go to the fill. We'll choose this and click on OK. So unselected item with data, when you click on it, what will the other colors actually show? That's what is asking us. What will be the other color? What will they show? Then we format this, then we choose this color, then click on OK. This over with this, for example, now if I click on this, if I over my mouse on it, what color do you want it to be? So we're going to choose something that is lighter than this color. So go to over selected data, we would format something that is lighter than this color. We choose this, we click on OK. Over on selected item, we choose a color that is lighter than this, format this and click on this, then we'll click on OK. So we check this set as, and I'll click on, I'll change the status title Mariana Mall Slicer. Then I then I'll click on OK. So the design will not change it, but I need to go and pick it. Still clicking on this slicer, I'll come up here and I'll pick the slicer that I've designed. I'll click here, click on this, I'll come up here, I'll pick this design, come up here, I'll go back to slicer, pick this design. No, sorry, for the other slicer, then I'll click this, click the other, then I'll click on this. Yeah, there we go. So now we want to, let's do report connection. Right click, go to report connection. We're going to check all the pivot table. Check this, check this, check this, so that we can control all our charts as we slice. Check. OK. Right click, report connection. We check this, check this, check this. Then we click on OK. We click on this, right click, report connection. Check this, check this, check this. Oh, check this, check this, check this, check this as well. Then click on OK. We click on this, right click, report connection. We check, check this, check this, check this, check this. Then I'll click on OK. So now let's start slicing and see what we have on. You can see how everything fall perfectly. 0% and showing 2023. Let's see 2023. You can see how everything fall perfectly. So let's check the sales method. So if you notice, there is unstable, inconsistent sales from the sales method. Like if you see from in-store, there was a drop, then it went up. For the online, there was a drop, then there was a drop, just a drop from January down to February, then it went down again to March. For outlets, there was an increase, then it dropped down again. So the sales from the outlet is not really consistent. These are things that we couldn't see on this data, but we visualizing it like this, we see what is going on here. That is one findings, and you can draw out insights from this. And the recommendation you can give to them is for them to stabilize their what's it called, revenue generated from those sales methods. They should try and work upon it. So let's proceed to our dashboard. So our dashboard include the logo of the company, the name of the company, your name, and the year of the analysis, then your picture. So since we don't have the logo of the company, we can't just use icon. So I'll come up here, I will then go to insert. I'll go to make sure your network is on while bringing in icon. Make sure your network is on while bringing in your icon. So I'll choose something like a dress. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'll pick this one, then I'll click on insert. So this is here. I'll drag it up here. So I'll resize this and I'll come up here. So I would say graphics fill. I'll choose this color, then I'll choose the outline. I'll say no outline. So let me see how it looks like. Good. So I will now start bringing in my text box, but I can use text box from here instead of, and I'll do Ctrl D and I'll drag this up here. I'll resize this, come down like this, double click, backspace. So it's going to be Mariana caplog Mariana Moore says analysis. So this is the title of the dashboard. Then I'll select this because I want to format the font. I'll select this. Oh, it's not selecting because of, okay, I'll do Ctrl A. Just because I pick it from my KPI. That's why. So I'll use this 24. Let's see how does 24 look like. So that's good, that's perfect. I would do Ctrl D. Not working. It's actually, I do Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, or Ctrl Z. Then I'll drag this here. There are sometimes you do Ctrl D and the system will just go and paste the thing under where you cannot drag it out. So that what's really happened here. You can see there that under here we have it here. So let me just delete it and just use this one that the system actually brought us for us. So I'll bring it here. So this is where my name will be. Double click and I would backspace. I'll say Samuel Okon Victor. Then I'll resize this and I'll do Ctrl D. I'll drag it here. This is where the year will be. I'll drag it down. Good. Let me check this my slider. Okay, it's not working perfectly. So we would double click on this, backspace, then we'll say 2022 to 2023. Then we would adjust this. Yeah. So we do Ctrl D. Okay, no, we don't need that again. We just means to bring in our picture. Let's delete this. So the next is our picture. My picture, I'll go to up here. I'll go to insert. I'll go to the picture drop down. I'll go to this device. So my picture, I have my picture on download. I've already cropped the back of my picture, so I can just pick this, click on this and click on insert. So it actually brought it here. And when you want to reduce the size of your your picture. Don't reduce it from the and from one corner. Just take it from this edge here, then you drag it up here, so you don't distort the size of the picture. You bring it up here, you reduce it again, reduce it again. So yeah, good. So it's now fall perfectly on. Yeah, good. So that's it. We've come to the end of the the tutorial. If you find the video very educative, please do not forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. Most especially, please subscribe. This is the only way you can actually help me grow. um there's so many insights we can get on the dashboard. There's so many, just because of the video is already lengthy already. I cannot start digging, but from here I've gotten one findings and insights. But you can actually, when you're done, you can actually start to drill. In subsequent video, I can do a video on how to get findings and insights. So that's wrap up our this video on how to create a sales analysis. Thank you and see you next time. God bless you all.